guys, it's Nasim here. Now, after using the OnePlus 10 Pro for about a month now, the one thing that kept coming to my mind after day-to-day use was this one simple statement that I think explains the 10 Pro pretty perfectly. And that statement is, I think that the OnePlus 10 Pro is one of the most underrated phones in 2022. And I say this because OnePlus has gotten a lot of scrutiny over the last couple of months because the lack of improvements over the years when compared to previous generations. But if I'm being honest, I think that OnePlus is doing the exact same thing as every other company making flagship phones. They're releasing a very similar product with very minor updates. And I think that the only reason that they have been facing scrutiny is because they aren't as influential as Samsung or Apple. So if they do the same thing, they look like they've lost their touch. And this is why I believe that the OnePlus 10 Pro is not only an underrated phone, but it is also a great phone that should be given its proper respect within the tech community. But besides my minor rant of why the OnePlus 10 Pro should be appreciated, I wanted to tell you guys things that I liked about it after using it for 1 month. Now, the first thing that I loved about the OnePlus 10 Pro after 1 month of use was the pretty great battery. Now, I will usually get about 5 to 7 hours of on-screen time with the 10 Pro, which was a good amount of battery usage, and I feel like the phone was able to handle that amount really well. I will be doing things like watching YouTube videos, watching movies, playing games, scripting videos, surfing the web, and many other things that the average person would do on their phone. And I would usually end my day with about 16% battery left, which was pretty good for a flagship phone. I also put it on lower power mode and will lower the 120Hz to 60Hz, which definitely helped my battery last longer. I also really like the fast charging on the 10 Pro. Like, there will be times where I forgot to charge my phone and will end up charging it while I was getting ready for work. And by the time I was done and ready to go to work, my phone would be on 100%, which was pretty great for me. Now, the next thing that I loved about my OnePlus 10 Pro was the truly amazing 6.7-inch LTPO2 display that I think is one of the best that you can get in terms of a flagship phone. The vibrancy was at an all-time high, the colors were very accurate, the resolution was very comparable to a top-tier flagship, and the whole experience was something that I can honestly say I didn't expect, and it really surprised me. Now, something else that I really loved about the display was the fact that whenever I was outside and turned up the max brightness, I had no trouble seeing as opposed to a lot of other phones. Like right here, you can see my view of how it looks when it's outside in the sun, and there was never a time where I had to complain about it. Every time I was outside, the 10 Pro made my phone experience easier. The size was also something that was great on the 10 Pro, and I will say that it was bigger than the average flagship, but it still enhanced the overall experience. Also, due to the screen's great vibrancy, I really enjoy watching different shows and cartoons on it since it made it even more colorful and nice to watch. Like right here, you can see me watching a regular show and the vibrancy was out of this world along with the great resolution. And to give you guys an idea of how great the screen is, I decided to show myself playing games and watching movies so you can see how well it does. Hey guys, it's Nasim here. Now, after using the Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus for about a week now, the one thing that kept coming to my mind after day-to-day use with this product was this one simple statement that I feel wraps it up pretty well. And that statement is, I think that the S22 Plus is the new Ultra. Now, the next thing that I really loved about the OnePlus 10 Pro after using it for a month was how well it was able to run the software. Like right here, you can see me scrolling through the OS and there were no hiccups whatsoever. The phone isn't laggy, I don't get any crashes, and the phone overall ran really smooth without me having to restart it. Even when I'm playing heavy games like Asphalt 9 or Call of Duty, you can see that there are no lags and I'm able to play the game as smooth as possible. It also helped that my phone didn't get really hot, which was a huge problem on a lot of other phones. I also really like the fact that whenever I would multitask, none of the apps I used were crashing. Whenever I would click on a new app, I had no problem switching. And whenever I wanted to combine apps, my phone would do it exactly how I wanted it. And minor things like this is the reason why I think the 10 Pro is an amazing phone that has the potential to reach a greater market, because it fills every single thing that you need in a smartphone. Now, the next thing that I loved about the OnePlus 10 Pro after 1 month of use was the pretty great cameras. Now, the camera on the OnePlus 10 Pro was definitely an underrated piece of hardware. And again, even though it isn't as great as other phones like the 13 Pro Max or the S22 Plus, I will be bold and say that it's pretty damn close. Like right here, when we look at the daytime outside photos, we can see that the pictures were definitely something that you can see on the best phones in the market. The trees were very true to color while also being sharp. The skies were very clear and vibrant. The nature was very true to color while also being very sharp. The camera was able to add a lot of light in while making the photos feel natural, and my face was very color accurate, but again, it can still use some work. We need more updates. Now, when we look at the daytime inside photos, I would say that, again, they did not disappoint. Whenever the lighting was right, my selfies came out very nice. The colors were very accurate, and I overall got really good vibes. The only thing that the camera needs work on is the graininess whenever the lighting isn't good. Like right here, you can see those specks of green, which really hinders the picture quality. Now, when we look at the outside nighttime photos, I would say that this is where I was surprised because the pictures came out better than I could have expected. The colors were still very accurate. My skin color was a little lighter, so that aspect of the camera needs a little work. And the skies and objects look very convincing, which is great because I didn't really use the flash. Now, when we look at the inside nighttime photos, I will say that this is where the camera performed at its worst. Like right here, you can see the graininess, which lowers the quality. The pictures were better once the lights came on more, but again, if I'm being honest, they still didn't look as good as any other environment, which was again really disappointing. And now when it came to the video quality on the OnePlus 10 Pro, I will say that this is another mode where the camera was able to shine. And to show you guys what I mean, here are some examples of different videos I took. And there it is, you guys, my final review on the OnePlus 10 Pro. Now let me know down below, would you get the OnePlus 10 Pro over any other phone in 2022? Let me know. And if you guys made it to the end of this video, I'd like to say thank you for sticking around. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It'll be very appreciated. And as far as social media, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.